No.
Ding. Kalimera, Julia.
Bogirdov, Edith.
How are you today?
Very good. It is summer for good in Greece. Very warm.
We miss the background of the sea. One day you need to go back to the sea when we are doing an exploration.
Actually, last time it was in the village next to the sea, but not next to the sea. From next time, I think
Okay.
we will do it.
Okay, so let's start. We are in Exploring Reality 26. This is May 8th, 2021, the 128th day of this year. And we have a question from receptor 972. And the question says, what do you mean when you say that plane 4 has got shortened up? I must have mentioned something about it in previous explorations. I don't remember exactly.
Me too, and I'm ashamed to admit.
Okay.
But it's a very good question.
Yeah. So let's go at it and start from the key word, which is speed. Let's relook at the unfolding from the void. There are actually two steps. The first is 7, asking a new question and making a new project. In its slowing down to the plane of administration. And this is how we can call plane 4, the plane of administration. And then plane 4 unfolding again into 4 linear planes where time separates into past, present, and future, whilst they are happening all at once in faster planes. In the slowest plane, when I ask a question in the ping pong that is happening inside my head, such as, where did I put something that I cannot find? Or why did an accident happen? Or who is saying the truth? Or why does my stomach ache? Or what will happen 5 years from now? The moment we ask a question, the administrator starts working on the question or on the questions and goes to search for an answer, or actually for many answers for each question. That's actually why memory and imagination are actually the same logical function, just in opposite linear direction.
Amazing.
Now the answer might be in a file that is already written in my hard disk. However, inside this internal dialogue, I do ask many questions, with or without noticing. And they are running in the back. The administration is working on them, on each question and on all of the questions. And yes, not everybody's administrator has got the same skills and or the same energy available. And not every day and not even every hour it can perform 100%, but all administrators are there to help out the receptor. This is a major part of the role and of their purpose to serve us. Therefore, usually we will get some answers at least. Also, we need to take into account that some files might be blocked or corrupted because of a filter that might be a psychological one. Some files or even a whole directory can be non-accessible because if it has been traumatized, then there is no access. It shuts down.
It's too painful to deal with. This is
exactly. Exactly. Then there are the questions that I ask, but they are new, and questions about the future and things I don't know and I never did. And usually the administrator does these kinds of searches at night when the administration of the bodily systems are on automatic mode. This is why we do the derivations at night before going to sleep. But that is a side issue now. So the thing in reality is as follows. When the answer arrives, we are not sure what question this is the answer for. The answer arrives usually much later and also mixed up with many other issues. You remember we had a practice that whenever the brain performs well, then between you and you give it a sign of well done, yes. Well, we can update it today to the administration, which is not the brain. It only uses the brain's neurology. That is why it is so important to observe how we are wired, how our brain is wired. It is also important to be positive and not get upset at the administrator when I do not get the answer immediately. Because after all, it is us giving it the instructions and also supplying the neurological infrastructure for it to work with. It is similar to, let's say, me getting mad at the app because it doesn't work. And then I find out that the number I typed is the wrong one. So when the administrator comes back with an answer that we are not sure what it is answering, and we don't even remember that we ask such question, we call it an idea. And by the way, in Hebrew, idea, or actually yeda, means knowledge. How interesting. Now about the coming back with an answer, which is like returning a value for the question you've asked. Sometimes it is not a simple answer. As an example, I give you an example from yesterday morning. I had to do something and I needed a specific tool for that purpose, but I couldn't see where I had put it, where I had left it, because I used it the day before. And the thought came into my mind, I will find it in a later moment. In the meantime, I have to throw away the garbage. So I went out of the house and threw away the garbage. And when I came back to the house, I suddenly see the tool. I saw the tool, which I could see only from that specific angle entering the house. So there is a lot to observe all the time. If our focus, is attentive on that, yeah, because I could have not noticed at all. Now, in plane 5, the operator is immediate, very much like the calculator. We type a long equation, no matter how many numbers, and with the equal button, it gives us an answer. It returns us a value. And that looks magic, although it's logic. This is the discipline of this dimension, and we call it speed. And I know you have this experience as well. You meet a person and they tell you something, and immediately you know if it is false or truth, because something that happened to you, or the next thing is that you hear on the radio exactly the piece of information that can cross-check whether this was true or not, or the administrator tells you inside your head something and you know it is so. Here is your story about the fire. Remember the fire and the pine tree, yes?
Yeah, yeah.
Which I reflected, it was actually your pineal gland.
Yeah.
All of this description belongs to the space, to the psyche space that is between you and you. There is a psyche space that is between you and others. It is not the same. This belongs to our going on amongst other people. And this is where we observe other people and try to understand them or judge them. And if we place in here the major events, the ones that are shown on the big screens for all to see, like the acts of the politicians or what is in the news, then it used to be that a politician would say something, and only after years and even after decades, you would find out what really was behind it. Either a book was written about it or some investigation. But nowadays, politicians speak, and in less than a few minutes, that other part of the big screen, which is the media, they dismantle what is behind very easily. So what took a long time before, today is immediate. And in a very short time, the media knows something is an experimental balloon or a
Very
camouflage.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have this
media in
yeah.
Greece. We work also with Facebook a lot to
Or a
debunk
camouflage.
Yeah, yeah.
Or sometimes an attempt to focus everybody on a different direction so we won't notice another bit, which they want to hide.
Sure.
So what this says is that plane 4 has shortened up. There is shorter and shorter distance between question and answer. There are less interferences in the observation and interpretation. And what was obvious before, but not spoken, it is made evidential today. Evidential is 103, is when a majority of receptors that are writing reality see it. Experienced is 111. You see in evidential the code 31 in continuance to last exploring reality, but from the future with a neutral space in the middle. Never mind. let's go back. Plane 4, that has been tricking everybody in the matrix, that they are the owners. Yeah, God is Godi, is go into 4. And this dimension now has got less and less space to invent tricks and try to confuse the receptors with declarations and words. Reality slams them at the face in a very short time. The legitimate owner came in 1 degree closer to its creation, you can say. This is what we saw in the conjunction, we spoke about it, in the conjunction in the end of year 2020, the conjunction between 5 and 6, remember? At the beginning of 2021, which is also the beginning of apparatus 506. And this is what I see in it from today's perspective, today being day 1 to 8 in the year, but also in the whole apparatus, which is closing the octave of 12 from 2012 to 2021. I think that, that in this development today, we have opened up some of the meaning of moving from just being an end user of reality and consuming reality to becoming a conscious partner in the writing of reality, in the writing of reality in open code. Because it does start from our relationship with our administrator. An end user sees mystery and leaves it with a mystical and childish interpretation, putting the charge on somebody else in the solar system and hoping this somebody else loves me, and inventing all kinds of little things I can do for them to love me. But growing in consciousness means establishing your own ministry, not mystery, and starting to take responsibility and charge of administrating your ministry. Now, I mentioned open code because all algorithms are really available. And that is why many discoveries occur in different places of the world at the same time, such as the wheel, yes, the writing and print, and even vaccines. And about the speeds of the planes, see that algorithm has a rhythm. In Spanish, it actually means something with a rhythm.
Yes.
So what shall I say? All respect to Receptor 972 for formulating this question. Thank you for that.
Brilliant.
972 will always allow us to encompass the original purpose, 97, and give it a way into our human affairs, too. And I hope this helps, yeah?
And also, I need to tell you that this video today, this Exploring Reality, is already promised as a gift to Observer 003, because he is writing about time as a good teacher. And I said to him, wait, we have a gift for you.
Right. Okay. Okay. I'll be glad to hear a specific question about it. But yeah, I hope this helps as well in the meantime.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Edith.
Thank you, Julia, for your time. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday and the whole weekend, yeah? See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.